place. She's got too many clothes to start with. Her baggage is probably, baggage allowance. I think she must have exceeded it at that point. But you should have enough clothes to be able to remember what you brought on that trip. Take them out of the suitcase, hang them up, remember your valuables, anything that's valuable, put it inside the safe, okay? Now, you can't put a jacket inside the safe, right? So it is your, okay.
No, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so therefore, so she's brought out all her clothes. The room is indeed a mess. And, okay, the room is a mess, okay? And you're wondering, why would you use a hotel facility like that? It is not your private property, it's not your bedroom. So
Should you even use your private property like that?
No, exactly. And that just tells you the kind of person that
see what she's doing. Yes, she's laying
she's bringing the clothes out one by one.
Is it a question of she wasn't too sure and see what she was doing, rummaging through?
So she's looking for something because maybe she's got another meeting.
The baggage late.
She's packed them. No, she's thrown, we ladies like to pack for eventualities, but we pack too much, way too much. And that's why we always have too much baggage, because half of what we've carried, we don't need it. You're going on a 1-week trip, you've packed for 3 weeks. It's not necessary at all. It's extra burden for you. She's scattering the room entirely. All right. And that's not good for the hotel at all, because where do you begin? Do you put them back in the suitcase or do you put them in the wardrobe? And look at her, the way she's used the bathroom as well. She's gone in for a quick shower and everything is on the floor. Now, hoteliers don't like the way people use their towels. They tell us a lot. They're trying to conserve water, soap, and it makes a lot of sense. You need to be cost conscious when you're going to a hotel. You don't want to be unnecessarily, impolite or rude. So therefore, if you're not using a towel, don't throw it on the floor. Just hang it up, okay? Okay, still talking about business travel. Greeting style is important. Do a whole lot of research on that place you're going to, I would say. All right? Because you may find yourself offending other people. How do they greet? Do they bow? Do they kiss or do they hug? You need to be able to identify that. Even in business settings, there are some places where indeed they bow. They don't even shake hands.
Yeah.
So you need to be cognizant of how they greet. Still talking about how they greet, you need to remember customs.
All right. Remembering customs is a good point to just hold a few seconds. We'll dash on that break. I will come back to tidy up on remembering customs. Don't go away. Okay, so she was talking about remembering customs. That reminded me of customs at the airport.
Right.
And immigration and queuing up, how some of us would jump, you want your shanty, you want to be the first person to get there. But I know that's not the customs you're talking about.
I'm not.
So let's go back to the
about the culture. All right, customs in terms of the laws of the land. You will get to some countries and indeed eating is illegal in some places. For instance, I remember when my family and I went a few years ago to Singapore. You are not allowed to eat in the mall. Like, you can't carry an apple and say you're eating along in the mall. And it is totally illegal for you to chew gum in Singapore. On public transport, anywhere, it is illegal and it is actually punishable. So you can't walk into Singapore and say you've got gum in your mouth. It is a crime, a serious crime. And that's a nice thing to embark on in a country, it's a nice policy. But and they really are so strict about it. It's everywhere. Do not chew gum, do not chew gum. And I remember when my daughter was chewing gum and we were on the public train and my son said, look at that sign, do not chew gum. And we thought it was a joke, but it was really serious. And immediately she had to, not take it out and throw it on the floor.
Of course, wrap it.
Wrap it up. And that's really, really, really important.
So you need to read up on where you're going and know exactly
so
the
that you don't
culture.
offend, yes. And again, I would say you're going on a business trip and you're trying to create a first impression. Don't forget you're an ambassador. You're going to represent your department, your country, your company. Why not try and learn a bit about the language, at least greet who you're going to see. And that's a very good first impression. So if you say something, Aquaba,
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen, yes, for Germany. And the person will be like, oh, wow, you've gone out of your way to at least impress them a little bit. And they'll be so willing to sit down and talk to you. So, hello, how are you? I'm fine, my name is just basic. I think it's a very good idea.
What about hotel accommodation, things like that?
So with hotel, you mean now, hotel accommodation is very, very important. It is part of your itinerary. You need to ensure that all of those are signed, done deal before you leave. So where are you staying? Don't rely on your technical gadget like your mobile phone or your iPad, that when I get there, I'll look at my iPad or I'll look at my phone. They can disappoint you. They can just refuse. Maybe your battery's gone down and you've got nowhere to charge it. Or you're in an environment where the voltage is different. So the charger you've carried, you actually can't even use it. Okay? Always write it down in your diary. Always diarize as a business person. Write it down so that in case any of these gadgets fail you, you can always open it. So you find some people saying, oh, I have it here in one of the emails. You have 1,000 emails. So how are you going to find it?
Tell you my experience. Got to the airport, had my boarding pass on the phone.
Yes.
Suddenly the network was down and it was not opening.
There
so
you
I was
go.
like, oh, you know what? I'm trying to open it here.
Okay.
And people were talking from behind. So the lady in front said, you know what? What's your name?
Okay,
So I told her my name.
she helped you out.
Looked in there. I
There
saw
you
the boarding
go.
pass and she let me
You
out.
see? So down to the hotel, the address, maybe there's a particular contact number that you've been given. Always write those things down and ensure that you have all those, in place before. I also wanted to quickly mention food. Be careful. There are some areas where you're not supposed to drink the water. You need bottled water. That goes without saying. Always know your own personal allergies whenever you travel, so be careful, okay? Business cards as well, they are your virtual impression. Don't go without them. A lot of people tend to forget. And then you have to also remember customs in terms of how am I supposed to present? In Asia, a lot of times, you must present your business card with 2 hands.
Ooh.
Okay, and you must receive with 2 hands. And at times, for some other countries like Japan, it's customary for you to actually spend 30 seconds or 1 minute literally reading it. You cannot just take it and put it in your pocket.
So as I collect the card from you, I must
Yes,
look at it
you
as
have
part of
to.
the custom.
Yes, as part of the custom. Otherwise, you'll be
Shows
deemed to be
respect.
so
Disrespect.
It's yeah. And that's where the moment you're disrespectful, and that's why I said customs again with handshake. How do you shake certain hands depending on how their status is? Are they VVIP? There's some countries like South Korea, it must be with 2 hands.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so
and
as we
therefore,
wind up-
the final one is gift giving. So sometimes you're going on a business assignment and you want to carry a gift to the person that you're going to see. Please be careful. Corporate governance is very important. Some companies, many companies, frown at giving out gifts. All right?
Thank
Okay. And always, of course, if you're traveling with your colleagues, share and care is what it's all
It's
about.
very important. Thank you
Etiquette
so much.
with Janet, as
Okay.
usual. Very exciting. Thank you, Janet.
You're most welcome.
Learned a
Thank you
bit there too. We'll be back for the home stretch. Don't go away.